Hello, welcome to my Artweeks exhibition 2020. I'm sorry I can't welcome you in person this year, but I'd like to invite you to come and see my work, see what I've been doing, and in particular, the work I've been doing in the garden. Let's go up the steps and have a look at one of the small circular panels I've just been making. This one's based on a very dark, beautiful oriental poppy. I've used very rich purples and reds with an opaque mauve and a bright green in the middle. This is a larger circular panel based on the bird of paradise flowers that we saw when we went to Madeira last year. They are fabulous. These garden panels are on cast iron stakes which go directly into the earth. There's my studio down at the bottom. Here on the back wall, I've placed a small moon panel which I've just made. I'm pleased with the simple design and the mix of transparent and opaque glass. Here's a tall, thin panel, again made of leaded glass. The colours taken from a spring tulip. Last of all, let's see if we can find some tropical flowers in this Cotswold garden. These are made in fused glass. So let's go into my studio. It's a lovely light space for me to work in. And here in the utility room I keep my kiln. Doesn't everyone have a kiln in their utility room? I'd like to start by showing you work inspired by the garden and one or two other things I love. So we have swifts, the cat, Georgie, and then more swifts surrounded by bird heads carved in stone around a Norman church doorway, Burford I think. And here we have a circular panel with a clematis, Nellie Moser I think, and a more abstract design based on leaves, again with the lovely purpley colours. Here's some an autumn leaf, a sycamore panel I made last autumn with falling sycamore seeds. And spring, so little buds, forsythia flowers. Now here's work in fused glass where I've used my drawings of tiny flowers and dandelions to make two-dimensional work in deep boxed frames. Here's something of a cubist sketch I did. And then I've got various tiles and coasters where I've been playing with things. And again, using my drawings, poppy seed heads, allium. And a small example of some of the musical work that I've been doing with instruments. Now here we have the work I've been doing for the Glyme Lane Allotments project, led by Judith Yarrow and Crabby Taylor. I've done a big panel of the general scene of the allotments in winter, and then portraits of two of the glorious wonky sheds. We've got an old bathtub, Brussels sprouts, bean sticks, the hazels in the Millennium Wood. Oh yes, onions drying, all sorts of useful bits of wood and plastics, crates, and the very dilapidated. We're moving on now to work inspired by medieval stained glass. This followed a wonderful course I did at Ely Cathedral. I've enjoyed improving my painting skills and learning ways to combine line and tone and the traditional yellow stain. Here's a Chinese dragon using similar techniques. And an autumnal scene with a hedgehog and a squirrel and a buzzard overhead and a bare field. Here are some college experiments of slumping blown glass and melting it over wire and sections of pipe. And here's some examples of commissioned work that I've done. Stained glass panels for people's houses, including over doorways or in a narrow slit window. On the right you can see my panel based on a vase of lilies. Medieval birds and animals. These are small roundels and squares that can just be hung up in the window. The tools of my trade, my grinder, and here on the bench some sketchbooks. I love the design part of doing this as well as the process of making. Lots of medieval animals here for a panel that I did. Oh, hares and rabbits, hedgehogs. That was the autumn panel. A little look into the cabinet, some of my fused work, experiments, testers. And there's some of my ceramic work here as well. And last but not least, the glass, where it all begins. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little tour of my studio and the garden. I hope to be exhibiting later this year, and also I hope that the Glyme Lane project will be showing in the autumn. For next year's Art Weeks, I do hope to be able to exhibit with Tam Frischberg in Summertown, which had been the plan this year. Thanks for coming. Bye. Prices are given in my gallery on the Oxfordshire Artweeks site, and on my website you can see much more glass and also printmaking. So please contact me through my website for sales, commissions and teaching. Thank you.